Hello and welcome to this Chess Rating Rise CRR training video on learning a new opening. This is done on Wednesday the 8th of June 2016. Um, I'm trying as white to learn a new opening, and the way to do this is to look at the opening and understand the principles of the opening and how very importantly the opening affects the middle game and the end game. So you have to understand the points of the opening, whether it is a direct effect on the center of the game or an indirect effect, and quite what the ideas of the opening are. And also after that you need practice playing the opening to get used to the feel of it. And here really this is showing the practice play, and it's showing play in Lucas Chess Program against Tarrasch ToyEngine beta version 0.905. It's not the strongest engine, but it's good enough to make a start to learn a new opening. So the opening is the white side of the Sicilian Rossolimo or Moscow, sometimes called the Canal variation. Now, when you play 1e4 as a white player, you may often face the Sicilian defence, and actually I think this is why a lot of players are put off playing e4, because the Sicilian defence is very big and often black players like to play it. It's an aggressive opening with many variations, giving the black player a lot of choice, and black players usually do tend to have their own pet variations and lines that they can play, and it gives white quite a lot of theoretical issues to understand and to be aware of in order to play a good game. Now, to combat this, there are a variety of sort of simplifications, and there are openings that call themselves anti-Sicilian openings. So instead of playing the open Sicilian, which we'll just go over very briefly here, there is this option to play these type of anti-Sicilian openings, and there are loads of them. You could include the Smith-Morra Gambit as one. You could include the Grand Prix attack as one. You could include the Alpine Sicilian as one. The Kopeck system, the B3 Snyder variation. So there are loads and loads to choose from. But this one, the Sicilian Rossolimo, and its closely related Moscow variation, are also one, and they appeal to me. And I'll describe how they appeal to me. But also, when looking at learning a new opening, as well as understanding the basic principles behind it, as I've already just discussed, really you should be aware of some of the best games that Grandmasters have played in this. And as a recommendation for this opening has been played successfully by Bobby Fischer. Now, Fischer employed 2 or 3 means to play against the Sicilian. He used to play the Fischer-Sozin attack. He's also, I think, played a King's Indian attack against some variations, some lines. And he's also played this Rossolimo attack, and a very notable game was his game against Boris Spassky, I think 1992, but he did win. And other notable games have been Ivanchuk versus Kasparov, I think, in 1991. Not sure, but there certainly are examples of very good games by top players in this opening. And really, when you're learning about a new opening, you ought to really be aware of these, and you can use these to model your own games on. Excuse me. So anyway, getting back to the position here, this is the mate position, and I'll very quickly go through this game because it illustrates some points. So we go back to the start. 1e4 c5, the Sicilian. Knight f3. As I say, there are other moves for anti-Sicilians, but we're not looking at those today. Here black plays knight c6, and the main line in the Sicilian Rossolimo and Moscow is to play bishop b5. And the idea, as far as I can tell at the moment, although I'm only exploring this opening at the start, and it's just my early career with this opening in learning of it, the main idea is just to take off this knight, do a bishop captures knight, give black double pawns, and take away the influence of the knight on the centre. In this line, the Tarrasch ToyEngine plays knight to f6, but here as white I simply go ahead and capture the knight on c6, give black the double pawns, and now I need to protect my e-pawn, so I play d3. Black develops, pinning the knight, and I castle, and these moves generally just play themselves. Black goes to clamp down in the centre with e5, and I attack the bishop, the black bishop. Black captures the knight, and I recapture with the queen. And from here as white, the game is rather simple. I just want to develop my pieces and play for a kingside attack. So that is my current plan and estimate of what to do in this position. Black develops his queen to c7. I simply develop the bishop. I want to, if I can take the knight and double black's pawns here again, then I'd be happy. I'd get two weaknesses. Black doesn't allow me to do this, of course. The engine plays bishop to e7, and I develop with my knight e2. Now here the engine plays a slightly surprising move, but well, there we are. Knight to puts the knight in reverse to d7, giving me the opportunity to swap off bishops, with the idea that the king now recaptures, the black king, and the black king can't castle. And this is sort of a central point in this particular opening in my practice against the Tarrasch ToyEngine, and it's the key fact that this black king now isn't safe, can't castle, and becomes an attack point for me as white. So first of all, I move my queen, which is going to allow me to push the f pawn, which I think could be important here, and to maybe develop my knight via f3 as well. But first of all, black wants to sort of kick my queen away, so I move my queen now, but I can move my queen to g5 with a check. Black blocks with f6. I move my queen away, and the queen here is in a reasonable position on h6. Now black plays not the best move, I don't think. I think black ought to be looking to move his rooks to the centre and to take his king away from the centre, almost to artificially castle. He could try an artificial queenside castle here. Obviously with the white queen where it is, he can't do that on the king side. But anyway, I just developed the knight. Black here tries to make some space on the king side, and again I think this is far too much of a risky option. So I don't mind capturing the f pawn at all, because it's giving a half open e file, which I can bring my rook to, probably the rook from A, but either rook to that file and apply pressure there against that king. Now I bring my knight in, and I have now the start of a good attack against black, basically. Here black surprises me, moves his rook from h to b8, and that just leaves a free pawn, which I can take with a check, so I do that. The king comes in, and now the engine suggests that I can have a quick mate with queen to f7 check. I don't actually like that style myself, so my preferred move was to play h4, protect the knight for the moment, and then play for queen checks. Well, black plays in this manner, and I finally get my queen check in here, and you can see how unsafe this black king is. And well, the black rooks are out of position. They could come and attack my queen, but it might be too little too late. So I bring my rook in, and from here on in I'm just chasing the black king. Black plays a check to nothing, so I just capture the queen. So black is all out of position here really, and plays a5, which doesn't really help his king much, but what else was there to do? It's a check, and there's the checkmate. So that was quite an easy game. Look where the black king ended up, getting mated on a3. So what have I learnt? I've just learnt that you can really play quite, shall I say, standard chess, nothing too difficult, just natural chess basically, develop and go for a kingside attack. And the engine really just hasn't got a good enough answer to that simple plan. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to play a live game and we'll see how we go. So I've closed out of that game, click play, select to play, and as white against Tarrasch ToyEngine, after I play 1e4, it always plays c5, always plays the Sicilian, so I can go ahead and now just play this game live. And some of the moves will be, the opening moves are just a repetition because Tarrasch ToyEngine always plays this way. So I now protect my e-pawn, castle for king safety, put an early question to the bishop, exchange off the knight for the bishop, and now I just develop. Simple development with the idea later of attacking on the king side. So this is following the pattern of the last game. And in fact, as you can see, the moves are absolutely the same. I'm going to bring my knight into the action here. I don't know whether this is just going to be a repetition. It may well be. Yep, it's sort of getting to be a straight repetition of where we were before. Well, I'm going to try a different line now. I'm going to try that. Gives me a mate in 3. So this is different. So where can I go from here? That's the first move. That looks like a good move. And there we are. I've won the game. That's even better, an even better result than my previous games against the engine. So just by playing sensibly and just following a simple plan, I've beaten this engine, Tarrasch ToyEngine, in this new white opening for me, the Sicilian Rossolimo. So I'm quite encouraged by this. I would say that I have already played about 50 games, and I have won in other lines than this. I have played differently than what I showed before. I'll just get rid of that message. Do you want to play again? No. And if I have not concentrated, then I have lost the game. So you do have to get a feel for the opening. The good thing about playing the computer engines are they generally do repeat their moves, so you can learn quite quickly what the good moves to make are, and what the bad moves to avoid are, sort of thing. So it is a very good way to learn all about a new opening. And I'm going to continue on with the Sicilian Rossolimo. There is a lot more, I think, to learn, because this is just at a simple level. But it does give me encouragement to play this game in my own Blitz games, and hopefully it's shown you how you can look at and train with a new opening, and get success with a new opening. So really, that I think has been quite successful, and as I say, I look forward to playing more with this opening, and really trying to develop it, because it seems to be at the moment quite a good way, quite a good anti-Sicilian opening, and this is something that I'm going to come across quite a lot in my games as I play 1e4, and therefore face the Sicilian defence quite a lot. So I hope this has been of some use as a way to learn how to play an opening and to learn a new opening. Thank you very much for watching. Good luck with your chess, and I look forward to more videos from Chess Rating Rise. Bye for now.